Wait. Hindi lahat ng cabins ay pare-pareho. May mga rooms and decks na mas nakakahilo. May mga rooms na better for senior travelers kasi mas malapit sa elevator. So pag magbubook ka ng cruise, choose a cabin or stateroom na best para sa'yo or sa pangangailangan mo. In general, there are 4 main types of cruise ship accommodations. Yung interior rooms, yun yung una. Ito usually yung cheapest, pero ito rin yung pinakamaliit. And wala siyang window. Yung second type is yung tinatawag na sea view or ocean view. May window that could let some light in and meron ka ring view ng outside. And pangatlo is yung balcony rooms na merong extra space where you can step outside and get a better view of the ocean and the ports. Ito yung, for me, pinaka-ideal na type ng rooms. Tapos, suites. Ito naman yung usually pinakamahal kasi they have more amenities than usual. They come in all shapes and sizes and usually meron ding mga kasamang iba-ibang perks. So, if you're a little bit claustrophobic or prone to motion sickness, it's not a good idea to pick an interior cabin on either end of the ship. Instead, choose one na nasa gitna. You'll also feel yung motion kasi kapag ka nasa taas ka na decks or level. So, ang piliin nyo kung mahiluhin kayo is nasa gitna, tapos wala sa taas. If you're traveling with seniors or those na may mobility issues, choose a room na malapit sa elevator, tulad ng sabi ko kanina. Ang mga barko, mahaba yan, sobrang haba. And it can be quite challenging for them na maglakad half the length of the ship every day or every time lalabas kayo. So, important yan. Magbasa-basa kayo ng reviews and tingnan nyo rin yung deck plan or yung parang mapa nung ship bago kayo mag-book. Isa lang to sa mga maraming mistakes na pwedeng magawa ng mga first-time cruisers. Whether sa pag-book or sa pag-board or kapag nandun ka na sa barko mismo. And in this video, isi-share namin sa inyo ang marami pang rookie mistakes to avoid. Hey there, Tipiter! I'm Yosh, and we have been covering cruises for the past 15 years. And noong bago pa lang kami, marami-rami na ring mga misconceptions kami about cruises na it turned out hindi naman totoo. And meron din kaming mga nagawang mistakes na avoidable naman. Pero bago namin i-share yan sa inyo, please take the time to like this video and subscribe to this channel, ring the bell beside it, and activate notifications para hindi mo ma-miss yung mga future episodes natin. And kung sa Facebook ka naman nanonood, join the Poor Traveler Support Group on Facebook. Dito kami nagsishare. And hindi lang kami, yung mga tipiters around the world, yung mga followers natin, mga members ng group na to, nagsishare din sila ng mga tips and mga hacks nila about travel. And very helpful yung mga members dito. Matagal-tagal na rin to. And marami ng mga naging friends and naging travel buddies because of it. Okay, let's go back to the list. Mistake number 2, not understanding the inclusions. Every time nag-feature kami ng mga cruises, tapos sinasabi namin kung magkano, ilan sa mga usual na tanong na nakikita namin sa comment section ay, room lang po ba yan? Paano po kapag may food na? Magkano po ba kapag kasama ang meals? May bayad po ba yung pools? Diba? Maraming ganon. It goes to show na hindi lahat aware na hindi lang kama or kwarto yung kasama sa cruise fare. In most cases, or almost all cases, when you book a cruise on the cruise line's website or even with the travel agency, the cruise fare already includes the following for the entirety of the sailing. Una, accommodation. So, yung room, kung saan kayo matutulog, saan kayo magsistay. Kasama rin na dyan yung access to most amenities like pools, kung merong mga jacuzzi, merong mga water slides, kung ano-ano pa. Although, merong iba na parang, kunyari, merong mga ibang amenities na para lang sa mga suite guests. Merong ganon. Pero generally, karamihan sa mga attractions and amenities on board ay open naman sa lahat. Kasama rin yung basic entertainment. Ito yung mga shows. Usually may theater kasi sa barko. And merong mga common areas kung saan may mga nagpa-perform, kasama na rin doon. Full board meals. So breakfast, lunch, dinner, kasama na yan. And usually, unlimited yan. May dalawang klase ng restos on board, yung tinatawag na inclusive or minsan complimentary, and yung specialty or paid. Yung inclusive or complimentary, pag kumain ka dyan, wala ka ng extrang babayaran. Kasama na yan sa binayaran mo na cruise fare. Usually, ang mga cruise lines merong at least one na buffet restaurant. Sa Royal Caribbean, yung buffet nila, ang tawag ay Windjammer. Sa Star Cruises, Lido yung tawag. Tapos ito, yung huling cruise namin, Costa Serena, Prometeo naman yung pangalan. Pero bukod sa buffet, meron ding complimentary na full service or fine dining option. Iba-iba rin yung mga pangalan yan. Recently, on our previous cruise reel about Costa Serena, may nag-comment na nagsawa daw siya dun sa food, sa buffet, pero hindi daw siya nakakain sa Vesta na fine dining restaurant yon kasi daw may bayad. Nung sinabi ko sa kanya na yung Vesta ay walang extra bayad, hindi siya makapaniwala. Kasi akala niya, pag fine dining, automatic may bayad yon. And yung free lang on board is yung buffet. So, sinabi ko na hindi, yung Vesta and Ceres na fine dining or kung hindi mo man makonsider na fine dining, full service restaurant, free din yon or complimentary. So sayang, imagine 7 days yung sailing, hindi niya na-experience yung ibang mga restaurants. So sayang, di ba? Sayang naman. So before yung sailing date nyo, familiarize yourself with the complimentary or inclusive features of the ship para ma-maximize nyo yung time and gastos ninyo. Gaya nga ng lagi nating sinasabi dito sa channel na to, make every trip worth it. So, dapat alam nyo yung mga inclusions. Pero, hindi lang inclusions yung dapat alam nyo rin yung hindi kasali dun sa cruise fare. Mistake number 3, not budgeting for quote-unquote hidden charges. So, may mga nag-a-assume din na yung cruises are 100% all-inclusive. And spoiler alert, hindi. When you're booking a cruise, yung first prices that are presented to you are usually just the so-called cruise fare. And gaya ng sabi ko kanina, it already covers your accommodation, yung mga meals mo, access to amenities, and some entertainment. But when you reach the checkout page, kapag sa website kayo nagbo-book, you'll suddenly find na merong additions dun sa cost. And that's most probably the port charges. Ano ba ang port charges? Minsan, ang tawag dito is port fees or port taxes. Pero these are mandatory fees that cruise lines pay to each port na binibisita ng ship ninyo. Para siyang like rent for docking dun sa port na yon or sa paggamit dun sa port na yon. The money goes to the port authorities for things like maintenance, security, and customs operations. You'll usually see port charges already included in your total cruise fare. But sometimes, they're listed separately to show transparency. And hindi sila optional ha. Kahit na sabihin nyo na doon lang naman kayo sa barko, hindi naman kayo bababa, or hindi naman kayo mag-shore excursion, matcha-charge pa rin kayo for that kasi the cruise line still has to pay the port for your ship's visit. If you're booking with a travel agency, yung published rates, na usually, di ba, may poster, tapos may published rate, madalas hindi pa kasama dyan yung port charges. So, i-expect nyo na kapag bayaran na, meron pang additional charge. So, kapag gumagawa kami ng mga sample computation sa Instagram Reels, Facebook Reels, TikTok, and kahit dito sa YouTube, sinasama na namin yung mga port charges para hindi na kayo magulat. And by the way, if hindi pa kayo nakafollow sa amin sa mga social media channels, hanapin nyo lang @ThePortTraveler_L. Yun. Syempre, hindi rin kasali yung flights and transfers. Kasi di ba most na cruise ships dito sa Asia is nasa Hong Kong, Singapore, Shanghai, ganyan. So, kung halimbawa na magku-cruise ka tapos doon yung home port, hindi pa kasama yung paglipad mo papunta sa Hong Kong or papunta sa Singapore, ganyan. So, isama nyo lang din yun kapag nagba-budget kayo. Unless, ang binook nyo is fly and cruise package. Kasi merong mga ganong packages din. Hindi rin kasali yung Philippine travel tax. You have to pay it on your own. Yan, sa government naman yun napupunta, hindi sa cruise lines. Pati gratuities, excluded yan sa initial na published rates. Ito yung nightly service charges na automatically added to your bill to compensate the hardworking crew nung barko, Kasama na dyan yung cabin attendants, dining staff, at saka yung mga behind-the-scenes crew na nagme-make sure na komportable yung stay mo on board. You might not see most of them, pero deserve pa rin nila na magkaroon ng share dun sa gratuities. Some cruise lines and sailings, like kunyari, yung mga Singapore sailings ng Royal Caribbean, included na yung gratuities kapag nagbo-book kayo ng cruise. Pero others charge them separately. Usually around 10 to 20 USD per person per night. Per person per night ha. You can prepay them before your trip, pero pwede rin na i-bill na lang at the end of your cruise. And while you're technically allowed to adjust or remove them in some cases, and minsan pwede mong i-request na i-waive yon, pero it's generally frowned upon unless sobrang pangit nung service. So, ganon. Kami, hindi na namin siya pinapa-waive. Binabayaran na namin siya kasi these crew members work long hours, so that little extra goes a long way. In short, hindi to scam, it's just cruise culture. And hindi rin kasama yung other mandatory fees. Kunyari, sa mga sailings papuntang Japan, merong 1,000 yen na tourist arrival fee na kinokollect. Minsan, 10 USD yung charge dyan instead ng 1,000 yen. For Sanya, China, sa experience namin, chinarge din kami ng 15 Hong Kong dollars na handling fee. So, merong mga ganon per port of call. Yan yung mga pinaka-important. But meron ding mga optional items na convenient or mas magagawang enjoyable yung cruise mo. Pero hindi siya kasama sa published rates. Example, Wi-Fi. Most cruise ships offer internet packages, pero may bayad. Tapos, yung mga shore excursions, kasi, di ba, pwede kang bumaba ng barko, pwede kang mag-explore ng destinations, pwede mong gawin yan on your own, parang DIY style, pwede ka rin mag-join ng mga tinatawag nila na Shorex, na organized by yung barko mismo. Pero either way, sa booking, hindi pa siya kasama. Your expenses when you alight the ship, hindi rin yung kasama. Siyempre, kung mag-shopping kayo doon or kumain kayo sa labas, hindi yun kasama. So, kami, mas preferred namin na DIY kasi mas tipid. So, yun. And hindi rin kasama yung mga meals sa mga paid dining na spots. Kasi kanina nabanggit ko, merong mga inclusive or complimentary restaurants. Marami ring mga specialty or paid na kainan on board na kapag doon kayo kumain, matcha-charge kayo. But actually, you can totally get by na hindi kumakain sa mga premium restaurants na to. Like, kunyari yung huling sailing ko dito sa Costa Serena and yung ibang sailings namin with Star Cruises and even Royal Caribbean, meron kami mga sailings na laging sa free lang kami kumakain. Drinks are also limited to water, basic coffee or tea, and sometimes merong few na flavored drinks, pero yung mga soda, yung ibang mga juices, smoothies, wine, beer, cocktails, you'll have to pay for them separately. Unless meron kayong drink package. And yung drink package, very common ito sa mga cruise ships. It will give you unlimited drinks, pero they're usually very expensive and unhealthy kasi talagang gusto mong masulit. Never pa ako nagbayad for a drink package and I still enjoy naman my time on board without problem. So, depende yan sa inyo. Pero drink packages, hindi yan kasama. Pero again, meron namang mga free drinks. So, pwedeng doon na lang. Mistake number 4, missing out on promos. Cruise lines are constantly running promotions. Madalas nakaka-encounter kami ng mga 4th guest sail free or kids cruise free or buy one get one 50% off, ganyan. So yung mga deals na to can slash like hundreds of dollars off your total fare pero only if you know when and where to look. The problem is, a lot of first-timers panic book at the first decent price na nakikita nila. And minsan kasi hindi nag-explore parang nafi-fixate sila sa certain date tapos yun na. Actually, the key is to stay on the lookout for promos and minsan nag-applicable yung certain promos sa mga certain dates. So, mas maganda na flexible. Lalo na kapag off-peak season, yun yung mga time na they're filling up specific sale dates. Madalas yun yung mga nagsisale. Also, tipiters or yung viewers and subscribers of this channel, pwede rin kayong maka-enjoy ng additional 5% off sa mga ilang cruises. All you need to do is remember and enter our promo codes. For Star Cruises, so whether Star Navigator and Star Voyager and Dream Cruises, Genting Dream, yan yung ship ng Dream Cruises, book at stardreamcruises.com, yan yung official website ng cruise line na yan, and use our promo code, The Poor Traveler, small letters or lowercase for 5% off. Malaking bagay yung 5% na yan. 5% off the cruise fare, ha? We also have a code for Royal Caribbean if you book with cruising.com.ph, and yung code na yan is worth it, which will also give you 5% off. You can try it on their website, pero minsan kasi, yung system kasi nila is parang they can only accommodate one promo code at a time. So kapag meron silang nagra-run na ibang promo code, hindi tinatanggap yung promo code natin na worth it. Pero if you book with cruising on the phone, you can just mention that you were referred to by the poor traveler and mention the code worth it for 5% off. It is also important to remember that everything is cheaper kapag binook mo in advance or before yung sailing date nyo. Mapa Wi-Fi man yan, shore excursion, or yung mga tours, yung drink packages, even yung mga paid restaurants, umasa ka na mas mura yan kung ibobook mo na ng mas maaga kasi pag nasa barko ka na, mahal na yan. Napapansin din namin na merong mga certain staff or crew members, usually mga head waiters or mga managers, they're also authorized na mag-grant ng discounts. Kasi experience namin, kunyari, sa Royal Caribbean, nabigyan kami ng 50% off sa isang paid na restaurant na ang nag-endorse sa amin is yung head waiter namin sa main dining room. So, merong mga ganon, magtanong-tanong lang kayo kung saan makakakuha ng discount o kung may alam sila. Yun, minsan meron ganon. Mistake number 5, not knowing visa requirements. Marami sa mga first-time cruisers assume na because nasa ship lang naman sila, they can skip the whole visa business. Actually, hindi totoo yun. May mga bansa na may ibang rules pagdating sa cruise passengers. Japan, for example, normally tayo mga Pinoy, kailangan natin ng visa kapag mag-visit ng Japan. Pero kapag cruise passenger ka, hindi mo kailangan ng Japan visa. Pero for other countries, like kunyari Korea, kapag kailangan ng visa, by plane, kailangan mo rin ng visa kung kahit by ship. Kasi nga, most cruise sailings ay international. You have to be familiar with the visa policies ng bawat bansa. Thankfully, most ng mga cruise ships naman na accessible sa ating mga Pinoy, hindi naman kailangan ng visa. So, if you're sailing to or from Singapore, Malaysia, Thailand, Indonesia, Vietnam, or Taiwan, hindi mo naman talaga kailangan ng visa kung Philippine passport holder ka. For Japan, a visa is not required for cruise passengers arriving and departing on the same ship. Kasi 'di ba, normally kailangan natin ng visa pa Japan, pero kapag cruise passenger ka, hindi mo kailangan. But you must pay the 1,000 yen tourist arrival fee, or minsan nag-iba yung tawag dyan pero 1,000 yen yan, pero may ibang cruise ships na ang charge nila is 10 USD for this. Sa China naman, as of this recording, kung magsastay ka sa China for less than 24 hours, you can transit without a visa. So, kunyari, darating ka on the same day, tapos magbo-board ka na rin naman agad on the same day, hindi mo na kailangan ng visa. Pero if you're staying longer than 24 hours, kailangan mo na ng visa. To be safe, kung ang plano mo naman talaga is magstay longer than 24 hours, kumuha ka ng visa. Kailangan mo na talaga ng visa for that. Kunyari, kung ang sailing mo is Shanghai, tapos may bala ka na before the sailing, mag-explore ka, like magdi-Disneyland Shanghai ka, ganyan. Tapos after the sailing, magtutour ka rin sa ibang parts. Tapos more than 24 hours each yon, kailangan mo ng double entry visa. So, yon. So, you have to be familiar with the visa policies ng bawat ports of call. Sa Korea naman, hindi kailangan ng visa if sa Jeju Island ka lang naman pupunta. Kasi visa-free naman talaga yung mga Pinoy doon. But if you're sailing to any other part of South Korea, kunyari Busan, kailangan mo na ng visa. So, mag-apply ka before yung sailing mo. Para normal na visa, kailangan mo nun. This is as of this recording, 2025. Yung mga policies na to change over time, so make sure you get the updated info. Yung mga cruise lines, they will usually inform you after booking, but it's still your responsibility to confirm the requirements. Mistake number 6, not having enough time allowance. Kailangan meron kayong enough time before and after your sailing. Yung cruise embarkation kasi and disembarkation can be chaotic. This is even more important kapag kayong home port or kung saan mag-originate yung sailing ay nasa ibang bansa. Like, kunyari, sa Hong Kong or sa Singapore, di ba, lilipad ka pa, magfa-fly ka pa papunta sa Singapore or Hong Kong or Shanghai. Paano pag may flight delay or may cancellation or traffic mula airport papunta sa cruise terminal, di ba? So, dapat may enough time. Kailangan nyong i-consider yon kapag nagbubook kayo ng flight. Alamin nyo kung what time yung departure time nung barko. And usually kasi, meron ding ina-assign na parang check-in time. So, dapat alam niyo yon and dapat nandun kayo sa time na yon. Better yet, arrive at the port city at least a day before departure para meron kayong parang buffer or caution in case something goes wrong. So, kunyari, ang sailing nyo is 4 p.m. ng January 5. Ideally, January 4 pa lang, nandun na kayo sa Hong Kong or sa Singapore o kung saan man yung home port. The same goes for after the cruise. Yung disembarkation kasi, sometimes it can take hours. So, don't schedule an early flight home. Dapat may enough time din. Instead, ang masasuggest namin is to spend one more night in the city. It's way more relaxing and stress-free and it gives you some time na makapag-explore din nung home port na city. Kasi sayang din naman, di ba? Kunyari, Shanghai, dun manggagaling yung cruise, i-explore mo na, nandun ka na eh. Yun. Just make sure you have the visa and hotel dun sa home port city. And for that, you can book with Agoda para ma-avail nyo rin yung promo code namin na Agoda TPT for up to 5,800 pesos off. That's actually 10% off pero capped at 100 USD. So yung current conversion is 5,800. So magbabago yan. So using the Agoda app, enter nyo lang yung Agoda TPT sa Deals tab. Tapos kapag may napili na kayong hotel, and it's time to book, i-enter nyo lang ulit yung Agoda TPT na code upon checkout. Yun. We also get credited for every booking which helps us maintain this channel. Mistake number 7, time zone confusion. May mga sailings na nagko-cross ng time zone. And nagiging complicated yung time telling dahil dito. Suddenly, yung phone mo says one thing, tapos yung orasan sa ship, kasi merong tinatawag kasi guys na ship time, iba naman yung oras nila minsan. So, minsan hindi magkatugma yung phone mo at saka yung oras sa ship. And a lot of first-timers, and even hindi mga first-timers, don't realize that the ship's official time doesn't always match the local time sa port. And pwedeng maging chaotic nun kapag nagpaplano kayo ng shore excursion or meron kayong imi-meet, like kunyari, may imi-meet kayong driver na binook nyo, di ba? Yung time, sobrang important niyan pagdating sa mga cruises kasi, kunyari, sa isang port, nandun kayo sa port of call, tapos may specific time na aalis yung barko. Kunyari, aalis yung barko ng 4 p.m. Paano kung iba yung alam mong time? Hindi match yung time mo sa phone at siya yung time ng barko. So, pwede kang maiwan. So, it's really, really important na nakasynchronize yung mga oras ninyo. Or kung hindi man, basta aware lang kayo na, okay, yung barko na time is 1 hour ahead or 1 hour behind. Important lang na alam nyo siya kasi hindi kayo hihintayin ng barko. Ina-announce naman usually yung mga time changes over the intercom or minsan, meron kasing mga daily bulletin yung ibang mga cruise lines. Nakalagay din doon kapag merong mga, kunyari, mag-a-adjust bukas yung time. Ayun, so be aware sa ganon and always double check yung ship time before getting off. It's usually posted everywhere or displayed sa in-room TV. And when in doubt, set your phone to airplane mode and manually adjust the clock to match the ship time. This way, hindi kayo malilito masyado. It sounds like a small mistake pero madalas nangyayari to. Kahit sa akin, minsan nalilito rin ako sa oras eh. So, always keep an eye sa ship time. By the way, every night, your cabin steward will leave a daily program in your room. And nakalista doon lahat ng mga happenings on board. Kunyari, may mga shows, yung mga trivia games, dance classes, movie screenings. Minsan may food tastings, minsan may karaoke or videoke. It also tells you kapag may time zone crossing na paparating. Mistake number 8, forgetting shore excursion logistics. Yung mga stops ng barko, ang tawag sa kanila ay ports of call. And hindi sila created equal. Alam mo yan, may mga ports of call na easier to explore than others. For example, ang Penang and Malacca sa Malaysia, tsaka yung Patong Beach na ginagamit na jetty sa Phuket sa Thailand, tsaka yung Naha sa Okinawa, they're relatively very easy to explore. Minsan nga hindi mo na kailangan mag-join ng tour. Kaya mo na yon. Madali siyang i-DIY. Pwede rin kayong mag-rent ng kung anong sasakyan. Makakatipid pa kayo kapag ganon. Pero kunyari, yung Port Klang sa Malaysia, ito yung port na cruise port na pinakamalapit sa Kuala Lumpur. Medyo detached siya from Kuala Lumpur. It takes like more than an hour, like almost 2 hours kapag traffic. Tapos kapag sa Taiwan naman, if yung target mo is Taipei, it takes time to reach it from Keelung, kung saan usually nagdo-dock yung mga barko. If ititake mo yung public transportation. Sa Japan, yung Ishigaki port, isolated siya and very limited yung number of taxis available. So, mas maganda if you charter or mag-arrange na lang kayo or mag-book kayo ng taxi service in advance. And marami ring mga cities yung may dalawang ports na pwedeng gamitin. Like, kunyari nga, yung Phuket, kanina sinabi ko, yung Patong Beach na jetty na ginagamit minsan, madali lang pag doon mag-dock yung ship. Parang naka-tender lang siya. Parang, basta, pag doon, madali lang. Pero may isa pa silang port na mas malayo from the center of the action. And ganon. So you have to be aware lang na tama yung port and kung gaano kadali ma-explore yung port na yon. And kung hindi, dapat alam nyo, i-book nyo na in advance or kung alam nyo kasi yan, mas makakapag-decide kayo kung i-DIY nyo siya, magbo-book ba kayo ng, kunyari, rental na sasakyan or mag-join kayo ng shore excursion. So, okay, na alam nyo yung mga yan. Whatever you choose, always remember na yung mga cruise ships follow strict schedules and they will not wait for late passengers. If sasama kayo sa ship-organized tour, yung mga shorex na tinatawag or shore excursion, you're safe kasi they'll make sure na makabalik kayo on time and kahit medyo mahuli kayo, dahil pananagutan nila kayo kasi sa barko kayo mismo nag-book, di ba? Yung sila yung nag-organize nun, hintayin nila kayo. Pero, kung DIY or nag-car rental kayo na outside dun sa ina-arrange ng barko, kung malate kayo, hindi kayo hihintayin ng barko. So, keep that in mind. It's always best practice to purchase travel insurance before your trip. It's not just for accidents. Yung insurance kasi, it also covers trip cancellations, delays, lost luggage, and yung mga little plot twists na madalas nangyayari sa mga trips. Yon, maganda na may insurance para covered kayo just in case. Most likely, hindi mo naman kakailanganin, pero in case kailanganin mo, you'll be glad na meron kayo nito. So, think of it as the most boring purchase na gagawin mo, pero it could end up saving your entire vacation. Thing is, hindi lahat ng travel insurance companies tumatanggap ng cruises. Pero ako, alam ko na PGA Sompo, yung travel insurance nila called Travel Joy, they accept cruises. So, dyan na lang kayo mag-book. Punta lang kayo sa thepoortraveler.net/protect. The Poor Traveler yung URL niyan, pero mare-redirect kayo sa mismong website ng PGA Sompo. Tapos, i-click nyo lang doon kapag ka-cruise. Yun, meron lang siyang 30% na premium na ina-add kasi mas mahal talaga yung travel insurance kapag may cruise involved. Pero that's better than nothing. And kung gusto nyo makabawas-bawas dun sa presyo, then use our promo code WORTHIT, which will give you 5% off. Pero again, mag-work lang yan sa official website ng PGA Sompo. So punta lang kayo sa thepoortraveler.net/protect. Tapos, redirect kayo sa official website. Mistake number 9, forgetting the dress code. Most cruise ships operating in Asia are pretty casual. Lately nga halos wala na yung mga formal nights in most cruise ships na try namin recently. Pero marami sa mga like main dining rooms and mga lounges, hindi sila nag-a-allow na naka-flip-flops, pajama o kaya swimwear kapag nandun kayo kakain na. So dapat alam nyo lang yon. And mas lenient na nga sila Medyo lenient na yung mga cruise companies pagdating sa attire. Pero kami, we usually pack 2 sets of outfits per day. Yung una, is mas casual for daytime exploring, tapos something more smart casual or business-y for nighttime activities. At the very least, yung personal rule ko is for fine dining places, dapat yung top ko may collar. Pero ako lang yon, and alam ko na may mga cruise lines na ganun yung rule, dapat may collar kapag lalaki. Pero most of the time, honestly, hindi naman siya masyadong nai-implement. Ang dami ko pa rin nakikita na naka-t-shirt lang, naka-shorts, wala namang pumupuna. So, mas lenient na sila ngayon. Ang alam ko na bawal talaga sa mga main dining areas and sa mga lounges is swimwear, sando, flip-flops, pajama. Yon, bawal talaga. So, yon. At saka, speaking of swimwear, kung alam nyo na gagamit kayo ng pool or ng mga jacuzzi, dapat meron kayong proper swimming attire. Pero meron ding mga ships kasi na merong mga theme parties. And masaya, it's really fun na sumali and sumunod sa theme. So, kunyari, itong huli na cruise namin, yung Costa Sirena, meron silang white party, lahat naka-all white, tapos merong masquerade ball. So, medyo a little bit formal, tapos may mascara. So, pinaghandaan din namin, nagdala rin kami ng mascara. Yun, tapos may gold party, may revival party, retro naman yun. Alamin nyo rin kung merong mga ganong paandar or may ganong ganap yung ship para makasali din kayo. Mistake number 10, overpacking. Okay, yung mga cabins or yung mga staterooms sa barko, unless suite yung binook mo, usually very cozy. And by cozy, euphemism lang yan, we actually mean small and cramped. Sometimes, really small. So, try nyo na one suitcase lang yung dalhin kasi pag dalawa, hindi mo na alam kung saan siya ilalagay. And as much as possible, wag kayo mag-overpack. Diba? Pwede naman kayo mag-mix and match ng mga damit. And also, don't forget to bring a small day bag para sa mga shore excursions. Kasi, syempre, kailangan mo rin ng lalagyan ng sunscreen, ng phone mo, ng pera kapag nag-explore kayo sa labas. So, yun. Iba-iba yung baggage allowance restrictions ng mga barko. So, kunyari, itong huli, yung Costa Sirena cruise namin, 30 kilos lang, tas 1 piece. Ang alam ko sa Royal Caribbean, hindi ko na matandaan kung ano yung limitations or restrictions ng Royal Caribbean at saka Star Cruises. Mistake number 11, bringing prohibited items. Yung mga cruise lines, very strict sila about kung ano yung mga pwede mong dalhin and mga hindi mo pwedeng dalhin paakyat sa barko. They take it very seriously. And nagbabago naman din, iba-iba yung mga rules. Pero in general, syempre, bawal yung weapons, illegal substances, mga items na sharp, flammable, and mga dangerous. Bawal yung mga yan. Yung iba, pretty obvious naman. Yung mga hindi rin pwede sa aeroplano, hindi rin siya pwede sa barko. But there are other things that people mistakenly try to bring on board kasi akala nila okay lang, pero they end up getting confiscated. Yung mga hindi masyadong alam ng mga tao na bawal ay yung mga heat-generating items like plancha, for example. Yung plancha sa buhok, yung mga hair straighteners at yung curling irons, usually exempted siya. So, ina-allow naman siya usually. Pero other devices na nag-generate ng heat, bawal talaga yon. Extension cords or power strips, bawal din yan, usually. Kasi fire hazards yung mga yan. Instead, yung dalhin nyo is yung mga block, yung mga travel adapters na ganun, yung maliit lang. Alcoholic drinks, madalas prohibited din yan sa most ships. Ang exception lang usually ay, kunyari sa Royal Caribbean, allowed naman 1 bottle of wine per cabin. And again, yung mga rules na to differ from cruise line to cruise line. So just check the fine print before packing or before booking kung ganun ka-important sa inyo yung mga gusto nyong dalhin. Mistake number 12, not preparing for seasickness. Ako kasi, favorite ko yung mga days na nasa barko lang, yung mga walang stops. Kasi mas nakakapag-relax ako, mas nafe-feel ko yung cruise life, kumbaga, kapag hindi namin kailangan bumaba. Doon ako nakakapag-lounge sa pool, doon ako nakakainom, alam niyo yun. Doon ako nakakapag-explore ng mga amenities talaga ng barko. And kaya lang, syempre, yung mga days na to na nasa high seas na tinatawag, they tend to be mauga. Even if you think na hindi ka naman mahiluhin, minsan, malakas talaga yung alon eh. lalo na kapag ka nasa dulo ka ng barko or nasa taas. So, it can humble you, and don't worry, it happens even to the most seasoned na cruisers. So, magdala kayo ng mga motion sickness na mga remedies, kunyari, Bonamine, ganyan. Lalo na kung mahiluhin talaga kayo. Siyempre, kilala nyo naman yung sarili nyo. Kung feeling nyo, mahiluhin kayo, kahit jeep lang nahihilo na kayo, malamang mahihilo din kayo sa barko. Ako, hindi ako ganun ka mahiluhin, pero lagi lang akong may dala. Thankfully, hindi ko pa naman nagagamit. Mas nabibigay ko sa kasama ko. Pero, yun, magdala lang kayo. Mistake number 13, not bringing backup cash. Karamihan ng mga cruise ships, everything you buy on board, na-charge siya sa room key or dun sa card mo. Pero kapag ka bumaba ka na ng barko, syempre, hindi na ganun ka-valuable. Wala nang visa yung key card mo and kailangan mo na ng credit card or cash. So, dapat may dala pa rin kayo. And minsan kasi, nagloloko yung credit card. So, minsan, natatag nung bangko nyo yung transaction as like dubious or suspicious. Tapos, ibablock nila yung card mo. Kala nila nanakaw or something kasi nasa ibang lugar kayo. So, kapag ganon, kapag na-block yung card mo, maganda na meron kayong backup card or meron kayong cash. Kasi otherwise, hindi kayo papababain ng barko unless na-settle nyo lahat ng mga bayarin. Nangyari sa amin, well, muntik lang, pero parang the day before the disembarkation, na-realize namin na tinag pala nung bangko ko yung mga purchases ko sa barko as suspicious. So, binlock nila. Hindi na gumagana yung credit card ko. Buti na lang, may isa pa akong credit card. And meron din akong cash just in case. So, ganon. Meron din ako nakasabay sa isang Singapore sailing naman. Ganon din yung nangyari sa kanya. Na-block yung card niya. Hindi pa naman siya nag-exceed or whatever. Sobrang takang-taka siya. Bakit siya na-block yung card niya? And wala siyang backup credit card. So, nanghiram na lang siya ng cash sa amin. And buti na lang meron kaming USD na dala. So, it's always smart na magdala nga kayo ng backup cash, backup card, tapos yung card nyo, ideally, magkaibang network. So, kunyari, isa Visa, isa Mastercard para, di ba, pag may nangyaring ganon, masosolusyonan. And magdala rin kayo ng local currency for each port of call and USD kasi yan, parang universal backup na namin yan. Lagi kami may dalang USD. It doesn't have to be a lot, just enough for emergencies at saka mga tips din. Kasi, yun, isa pa yun, magdala kayo ng small bills for tipping crew members who go the extra mile. Kasi, yung iba talaga sobrang maalaga, sobrang magiliw, they will really take care of you. And, ayun, it's your turn naman. Meron ba kaming na-miss na cruising mistake? Or meron ba kayong gustong idagdag sa listahan na to? Kung meron, i-share nyo na lang sa comment section below. Or kung guilty kayo sa ilan sa mga mistakes dito, tulad namin, merong mga items na nabanggit ako na nagawa din namin. So, kwento nyo na lang. Let us know in the comment section below. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe to this channel. And remember, plan smart, travel safe, and make every trip worth it!